Stories are a great way to share insights, knowledge, and skills along a pathway. And I've created a pathway, a 7 signpost pathway for olders to elders, those who are aging, solo aging, and are looking for a way in which to move through living a legacy life using mentoring. And this pathway that I have created and the signposts that go with it, I'm going to share a brief introduction here so that you might get a bit of a grounding, pun intended, for that pathway, so that you might make a decision if you want to journey with me. Now, that journey could actually become an expedition. It could become a trek, a quest, a pilgrimage. It's other ways in which to look at it, and those words I'll be explaining more about as time goes along. But today I wanted to share with you about this pathway and the 7 signposts that you will find along the way. So the first signpost is wealth movement. Yes, it's the name of my company, but it also is about wealth, is this notion of the wealth of experiences that we engage with from a well-being for self and well-living with others, and this notion of the adventure together. The movement is a reminder that there is this notion of physical aspects of movement all the way up to the social cultural movement where we're attempting to make a difference, make a lasting impact for the world with the planet from the whole. The next signpost that you'll find along the way has to do with aging and solo aging and older and elder, and what do those terms mean? What might be some of the challenges that you find along the way? What would be some of the ways in which to unfold this pathway that has meaning for you on your terms in your words? A lot to unpack there and see what we're doing, and one of the best ways I can explain it is that dash between your birth year and your transition year. Let's add lots of dashes in there, and that's what this pathway and these signposts and this story is about. The third signpost is about safety, safe systems, and safer practices. If there's anything that I have learned along the way, is to make sure that from a mental, emotional, soul, spiritual point of view, is that there is safety taken into consideration, preparation, prevention, and the practices that go with being safe. And I've sort of linked that in with this pathway because sometimes it's hidden in behind and people learn about it later. But I want to bring it to the forefront so that you can appreciate it now and what does it mean to manage safe systems along the pathway and to lead with safer practices. It's a great topic, and I think you'll find it of value, and I learned a lot more about that because of the years I was a first aid instructor, a wilderness remote first aid instructor, and safe systems and safer practices were really important to get across to those who were involved in outdoor activities, and you can draw them into indoor activities and walking around even your neighborhood. The fourth signpost is mentoring as legacy. And this is where we're going to unpack a lot to do with legacy and what does it mean for you? What's the dashboard that goes with it? What are the feelings that are associated with it? And mentoring is how to mentor, why to mentor. And if you're so called to get certification in mentoring, that's available as well. It's going to be one of those ones that are going to take you down some side paths, and I think you're going to enjoy them as we go along. Again, legacy of the project and stories and contributions you want to make, and this notion of mentoring as an education approach and how you might even link it up to coaching and facilitating and navigating and weaving and celebrating these other ways in which to educate others. And one of the great things about this mentoring as legacy is that you get to appreciate that you share what you love to learn. And I think that is a wellsome way in which to go about this notion of older to elder. The next signpost that you find, the fifth one, is really about this sense of creative process. Creative process in the sense of what is the experience in education that you want to bring into your life and share. And one of the things as an older to elder is to be able to determine the quality of those experiences, the quality of those events that you want to partake in. At the same time, is to be really clear about learning and educating. Now, I mentioned mentoring, but there's 12 in all that I've written about and writing about that I'll be sharing with you so that you might be able to figure out what's the best way forward for you. And then the next sixth signpost that you find along the way is awareness writing. And this is a connection with nature because awareness writing is really about what I call landscape observation, about observing what is available from the outside in. What can you learn metaphorically from nature that is going to improve, focus, and strengthen your awareness of living this extraordinary legacy life that you wish to put into motion for you, into movement for you. And to be able to dig around in how to do that with journaling and sketching and all those really wonderful arts. And the seventh one is to really dig into this notion of the creative process. There is a way in which to look at creativity and innovation and to be able to say, oh, okay, this is how I'm going to use this creative juices that I have, this creative ways forward, and how might I take what it is that I've created and innovate it for the world with the planet from the whole. And we're going to sort of look at paradoxes and bias along the way. Again, these are topics of paradox and bias that I learned. And once I started to unpack them, did I have so much more fun in looking at ways in which to walk this path, this pathway that olders to elders can walk. And the adventure together is where I'm going to remind you to add your comments, your ideas. What can we do to learn together and see where it takes us? And so this is just a short intro video into what's happening, what's possible. And along the way, you will find shorts where I share some really short stories. And there are longer videos and short videos. Short in this case would be, 3 to 5, 7 minutes long. And then there are others that might be 21 to 34 minutes long where I want to really bring a great idea to the foreground. So with that, I'm going to close this one down and invite you to get involved, to walk, run, skip, cycle this pathway and see where it might take you. And with your sharing, it will help me as I get to really enjoy what it means to live an extraordinary legacy life. So take care, and we'll see you in the next one.